welcome back to another video. So for today's video, I'm actually going to be doing a Q&A. So I actually wrote down all the questions in this little notebook. You can't really see, but I wrote them down in this little notebook. So I'm just going to be going ahead and answering my most asked question. Number one is, at times do you ever wish you could go back in time and do things right, school-wise, etc., not your baby? So to be honest, I really don't, just because I feel like everything that happened is supposed to happen for a reason. And I don't know, I guess, yeah, I would have loved to been able to graduate right on time, like around this time of the year, but I know that I'm going to graduate very, very soon, you know. So, and in the meantime of me not going to school, I was getting money, making sure that things were good for my baby girl, and so I don't regret that at all. Honestly, I wouldn't change it. Maybe if I could do both, maybe, but I mean, I feel like it would kind of be impossible. So no, I really don't. I really wouldn't have done things different, honestly. Okay, question number two is, what was your pregnancy experience like while being a student? How were you treated by students and staff? So honestly, I don't feel like much changed, only because I didn't really talk to that many people. So like, there was no one to treat me different, you know. If anything, people were nicer, the staff was nicer. Like, they would always, every time after lunch, or if I had to go up the stairs, like, they would always try to talk to me and get me through the elevators. I had a couple teachers that would like try to help me more, but then again, the school that I was going to actually declined letting me back in after I had my baby, even though we had a full meeting with my mom and the principal and all my teachers to make sure that I would be able to return back to school with no problems. But they didn't let me. But they didn't let me, so I feel like that was kind of messed up of them, just because like I had already had that in my head, like they had promised to let me back in and then they ended up not. But you know, whatever, it's whatever, honestly. And by the way, Jimena's here, my daughter, so she's right there. So yeah, she's gonna be in the background, and my little sister, but yeah, don't mind. Question number three is, when you first found out you were pregnant, were you scared? Yeah, I was really scared. You know, obviously I feel like anyone who's that young and pregnant is gonna be terrified, not only of having a baby, but telling my parents, telling her dad, actually realizing that like I'm really pregnant and I'm really gonna give birth to a baby. Like, if you guys ever watch birth videos, don't do it if you're pregnant, because I would literally just watch a bunch of birth videos and like that messed me up so bad. And hearing everyone's experience on having a baby, it's like the worst thing in the world, honestly. It like traumatizes you before you even are able to experience it, you know what I mean? Question number four is, what was the hardest part about your pregnancy and about postpartum? I would probably say the hardest thing about my pregnancy was just having to kind of hide it, having to keep it a secret. You know, you don't really get to enjoy something like that when you're 15 years old and you're having a baby. It's not something that's big, talked about, that like is wanted to be shown out, you know what I mean? So I feel like that was something hard. Like, nowadays I see people that are pregnant and they enjoy it, they take so many pictures, they take maternity pictures, they do this and that, and that was really not anything that I was doing, nothing close to it. Like, it was really bad, but I mean, what can I expect? You know, I was so young. I would definitely say for postpartum, it would be the fact that I think it's two big things. One would be postpartum depression, and the second one would be just recovery in general. Your entire body is just like completely changing. You're not gonna be the person you were before pregnancy, and you're not the person you were as being pregnant, if that makes sense. Like, your body is changing, your mind is changing, you are now responsible for a complete human. Everything just becomes so different. And I feel like postpartum depression, if you don't have the right help, if you don't have the right people around you, if you're in a bad space at the time, I think it can hit you very hard, and you have to be super careful. You have to be very informed, very educated. You have to be very open to understanding that you're in postpartum depression and you may need help, and you shouldn't be ashamed of that. You shouldn't see yourself any different from that. I think that everybody can use a hand after having a baby. It's one of the biggest, craziest changes. I think you could say the biggest change in life in general. So I would definitely say that the recovery as well is super hard. I mean, you just had a baby, you know, so just like I was saying, everything is recovering, everything is changing, and you kind of just have to wait and give your body time and give your mind time and try to focus on what matters most, and just focus on the fact that you just gave birth to this beautiful human being, and just stay as positive as you can. I have two similar questions. Question number 5 and question number 6 are, how old are you and when is your birthday? So I am 18 years old and my birthday is September 10th. And then the very last question that I was going to answer is, what's the hardest thing you had to deal with having a baby so young? I would definitely say it's just about the fact that you're so new to everything, you know, you're still growing as a person, as an individual. When you have a baby and you're ready and you're 30 years old and you're ready, you've lived life, you lived through the good and the bad, you lived through so many things that you're ready to have a baby, you know what I mean? You've had so many more experiences, as opposed to being 16 years old. You've had a lot less experience in life in general on how things work. It's just so hard having to be pushed straight into the adult world at 16, just because I'm not saying adult world like, oh, I had to pay for my own things, I had to pay for my own apartment, I had to do this and that, like, no, but it's more as like all the paperwork. I don't understand it because I'm not used to that. You know what I mean? All of the extra things that come along with having a baby, all the paperwork, all the insurance, the social security, like all of that, I was so new to it. I had no idea about any of it. My mom helped me with everything because I really couldn't understand much, just because I was so young. I was 16 years old. Like, I didn't even have to worry about it for myself, but now I had to worry about it for myself and another human. So I think that wraps it up for this video. I'm done with answering all the questions. So if you guys would like a part 2 or have any more questions, you guys can leave them down below in the comments and I'll either reply to them or make a part 2. Again, if you guys have any more video suggestions, leave them down below. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.